On April 14th, 1912, the RMS Titanic struck an iceberg. But what if I told you that wasn't the most shocking truth about that night? What if I told you more than half of the Titanic's passengers and crew could have been saved, even with the lifeboats actually on them? For over a century, the story of the Titanic has been shrouded in tales of heroism, tragedy, and an unsinkable ship. But the truth is far more complex. This isn't just a story about a ship that sank. It's a story about human hubris, the limits of technology, and a series of critical decisions that sealed the fate of over 1,500 souls. We begin on the evening of April 14th, 1912. The Titanic, the grandest vessel ever built, was slicing through the North Atlantic at nearly full speed. Below decks, orchestras played, grand dinners were served, and passengers dreamed of a new life in America, utterly oblivious to the silent threat ahead. Yet, warnings had been pouring in. Multiple ice reports, specific and urgent, had been received throughout the day by the Titanic's wireless operators. One of the most critical from the nearby SS Californian, describing a massive field of ice, never reached the bridge. Why? Because the Titanic's own radio operators, overwhelmed with sending private passenger messages, told the Californian's operator to shut up. At 11:40 p.m., Frederick Fleet, the lookout, saw it, a dark mass directly ahead. He rang the bell 3 times and shouted, "Iceberg right ahead." Only 37 seconds elapsed between that warning and impact. A desperate attempt to turn the colossal ship proved futile. The unsinkable ship had been fatally wounded. But the real tragedy, the terrifying extent of the human cost, was only just beginning to unfold. As news of the disaster spread, initial disbelief quickly turned to horror and an urgent demand for answers. The world wanted to know, how could the unsinkable Titanic have vanished? Within days, inquiries were launched on both sides of the Atlantic. In the U.S., Senator William Alden Smith led a fiery Senate investigation, determined to find culpability. White Star Line Chairman J. Bruce Ismay was among the first key witnesses. His decision to board a lifeboat while women and children remained was a major point of contention. The testimony of lookouts, including Frederick Fleet, revealed a crucial detail. There were no binoculars in the crow's nest. A simple oversight with tragic consequences. Evidence showed multiple ice warnings had been received. Crucially, a final, specific message from the steamer Mesaba, detailing a large ice field, never reached Captain Smith. The ship's speed was a major focus. Witnesses debated if the Titanic was indeed pushing maximum velocity, despite warnings of ice, in an effort to set a record. In Britain, Lord Mersey led a more technical, protracted inquiry. Naval architects and engineers delved into the Titanic's construction, specifically its watertight compartments. The inquiries meticulously detailed how the iceberg inflicted a 300-foot gash, breaching 5 of the Titanic's 16 supposedly watertight compartments, one too many to stay afloat. The lifeboats themselves became a symbol of failure. There were only enough for half the people on board, a figure that met outdated regulations but proved catastrophically insufficient. Testimony also revealed the chaotic and often incomplete loading of these precious lifeboats. Many left partially full, leaving thousands still aboard the sinking vessel. Perhaps the most chilling revelation concerned the SS Californian. Lying just miles away, its crew saw rockets fired from the Titanic but failed to respond, believing them to be signals of merriment. The inquiries concluded with findings of insufficient lifeboats, excessive speed in known ice fields, and the Californians' inaction. These tragic oversights irrevocably changed maritime law forever. While the official cause of the Titanic disaster was an iceberg collision, experts have spent decades unraveling the true complexity of that fateful night. One prominent theory suggests the ship's fatal flaw lay in its construction, specifically the slag-rich iron rivets holding the hull plates together. Metallurgists like Dr. Tim Feck posited that these poorer quality rivets, used in critical areas, became brittle and failed catastrophically upon impact. Another critical factor was speed. Captain Edward Smith's decision to maintain high velocity despite iceberg warnings remains a hotly debated subject. The infamous missing binoculars meant lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee had to rely on their naked eyes, hindering early detection of the ice. Officer Murdoch's evasive maneuver, turning hard to port while simultaneously reversing engines, is still scrutinized. Was it the best possible decision? A lesser-known theory posits a long-burning coal fire in bunker number 6, just days before the disaster, potentially weakened a section of the hull. While challenging to prove conclusively, some experts suggest this compromised area contributed to the rapid tearing of the hull upon impact with the iceberg. Environmental conditions also played a part. A moonless night and an unusually calm sea made spotting the dark mass of an iceberg incredibly difficult. Atmospheric phenomena, like a temperature inversion, could have created a mirage effect, distorting the iceberg's appearance and potentially hiding its base. The closest ship, the SS Californian, saw rockets but failed to respond. Captain Lord's inaction remains one of the disaster's most controversial aspects. Ultimately, experts agree there was no single cause, but a catastrophic chain of events where human decisions met engineering flaws and environmental perils.